Welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Today we're bringing you live coverage of the 2020 presidential election. We'll be checking in with NBC. This is Verbal Peak Radio, and later on, in recent time, we'll have our political analyst, Marcus Mudd, join us as we ride this wave into the new president of the United States, whether it be Biden or Trump. But it seems like we're voting for your health versus your wealth. Which one would you say plays the most important role within your specific lives? We'll let you tune in as we continue to cover this 2020 presidential election.
Looking at this campaign over these next hours. Big questions here in what is expected to be a close night out of the state of Arizona, Allison.
A historic day in Green Bay, Wisconsin. For the first time, the Packers are opening up their indoor tailgating venue.
And it's definitely going down. Green Bay opening up what it's opening up.
Voters. That's where we find NBC News correspondent Kevin Tibbles at the Johnsonville Tailgate Village. Kevin, what are you hearing from voters there?
Well, Allison, first off, yes, we're just steps away from Lambeau Field, obviously the temple of football here in Green Bay. Just behind me is the tailgate, indoor tailgating place. And the real good thing for voting here today is the fact that in spite of the fact we're in Green Bay, Allison,
thank you, brother, for having me.
Yes, sir. We're going to come back to NBC. We're doing streaming live coverage of NBC and their election coverage. But I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions as we get into this presidential election. You know, it seems as though Biden is representing the health portion of it, and Trump is representing the wealth portion of it. Somehow, they managed to separate the two, although we know your health is your wealth. But some people are saying without an economy, there's no money to pay into the health care system. And so I'm saying, well, if you don't have your health, you can't make any wealth. How did they manage to split these two?
That's a good question, brother.
Yeah.
That is a great question. All I can say is one get paid off of health care of the citizens, and the other gets paid off of stock market. So one is more concerned with the finances of how the people are surviving, and the other is more concerned about how the health is surviving. The health of the people is making it along.
Right.
You can't really separate the two, like you said, because you need your health to make wealth, and you need your wealth to pay for your exploits. You have to pay your doctors and you have to pay your workers. So how can you run a company with people who have bad health?
Correct. And this COVID plays a role in that, because Biden is saying, well, you elect me as president and we'll get rid of this COVID virus and we'll focus around the health issue. Trump is stating, hey, open up these cities and these businesses so money can generate, so we can fund money to fund a cure for the virus. And the people's livelihoods, they need to pay bills, and because the government, can they keep giving out stimulus checks? So one's pushing to open up fully, and one is saying we need to shut down in order for the virus to dissipate. But
right, so
no, I'm saying, but can either one be done though? Is the question.
That is the question. Neither one of them have an answer, and that's the real answer. Neither one of these guys have the answer, and that is the answer.
That's right. So we're just going through the motions and putting on the show with this 2020 election campaign.
Right. Well, it's been a great exercise these last 4 years of Trump administration, and which we're about to see whether or not that exercise will continue or we're going to change exercises. But it is an exercise, and it's to strengthen somebody, and it's to break others. And it just depends on how you prepare yourself as an individual, whether or not you will survive. And it's down to survival. The great American dream and that whole painting is being exposed.
Right.
It should have been exposed. I mean, I say being exposed, but if you don't know by now that whole thing is falsehood, then, maybe you need a few more spankings.
Right.
But these exercises are to either strengthen you or to just break you.
Correct.
Weakness won't make it into the kingdom.
No, not at all. And these people are, they're putting the country is divided, right, among party lines, amongst race. Now it's divided amongst health and wealth. But real quick, we want to go back into the coverage. Stay with me, Brother Marcus. We're going to bring you back on in just a minute.
I would say the economy.
Jobs?
Yeah. I think that affects everybody.
Any issues this time around that are more important to you?
For me, it's like pro-life, things like that.
Now, when you're listening to these people, one of the things that I picked up or noticed is that a lot of people standing in line here today were actually reticent to tell us which way they were going. I think, and a number of people said this to us, that the way the country has been divided over the last 4 years, many people aren't really publicly saying which way that they're going to be going. And we notice that right throughout the day here. I think that probably has is also part of the reason why so many people, not only here but right across Wisconsin, actually did absentee voting and voting by mail. Some 65% of the residents or the voters here in Wisconsin have already cast their vote in terms of how many people cast the overall vote 4 years ago. So,
see right there, Mark, and we just went back to the live NBC coverage. We're streaming NBC Live, and we have our own political analyst on the phone. That's Marcus Mudd. Now, he said that the people in line today that's voting, they didn't really want to say who they're voting for and the reasons why they're voting for that particular individual. But it was mostly, as black people, we always had that fear that when it comes down to it and white people get into those polls, that they will automatically vote, that they will more than likely vote for Trump and will not. They don't want to publicly admit it. So when they go behind that booth, the same old thing continues to happen.
Where?
Because they were in Wisconsin and they were like, nobody wanted to actually say who they were voting for. Because they don't want to be on TV saying, in the end, I'm rolling with Trump. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, but we saw this narrative time and time again. Hell, that's how Trump got it in 2016 because who brought him over the hump was suburban white women.
Right.
And black women was kind of upset because they were like, well, damn, white women, we thought, you all were going to ride with us and put Hillary in. They was like, look, we joined your feminist movement and, and we was women living with you all, but you're not going to ride with us?
Right. Well, the Democrats are waiting and salivating at the mouth just to be able to say, this is a referendum on Donald Trump and his administration and his movement and his followers. And, it may be, but before that happens, at this very moment, I believe there's a referendum on Biden and all his people that he even has to struggle against an impeached president the way he is. Right. Have they thought about that? Right. Have they thought about a man that lied to the whole country about the pandemic and allowed hundreds and thousands of people to die behind the pandemic that he could have prevented from dying, to go to war at the ballot box with somebody that's supposed to be so virtuous?
Right.
I believe there's a referendum out already on Biden, to you Biden lovers.
Right. That speaks volumes. We have to wrap our head around that. How is Trump still standing after all of that in a country where they say the home of the free and the brave? Something's not adding up.
Right. How is Trump almost about to be reelected after doing all the things that he did against the country?
Right.
What is it about what he's doing, what he's saying, that makes the people still want him in office, even though, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. It's crazy, but we're in the cuffs of making history right now, and history in terms of where do we go after this? Because the people are going to be shook up either way. If Trump get in office, the Dems are going to be shook up. And if Biden get in office, Trump supporters, the Republicans, are going to be shook up. Because they can't, neither party can't see their guy losing. And they damn near, the country is damn near split 50-50.
Right.
So.
And that's dangerous for the Democrats. That is dangerous for the Democrats. First of all, Trump gonna argue. It ain't gonna be over tomorrow or the next day. Trump gonna be arguing.
Right.
But besides that, this is what it looked like in 2016.
Yeah, but it did, but with less potential violence attached to it.
Right, but even though, that's what I'm saying though, even though, that we got that dichotomy as a part of the whole activity, you know what I'm saying? I hope I'm using those big words properly.
Yes, sir.
Trump is still in the running, still right there. Despite all of that, Biden still got trouble getting elected. What is that?
Yeah, something ain't right. Yeah, that's right. Something's not right. Yeah, that's a bold statement. That's a bold statement. Because some people are saying that they really don't like Biden. They just voting for Biden because that's the only alternative they have, and they want to see Trump out of office.
Right.
But not on his policies. See, he didn't talk about how he was going to strengthen the economy. He didn't talk about job growth. His main point was the COVID and the way Trump was handling the COVID.
Right.
Which he got a valid point. Then he did. And then he didn't speak like we talked about last night. He didn't speak about his black base and how is he going to grow the black base.
Well, he totally ignored us, brother. Ran back to West Pennsylvania, the suburbs, and said, "Y'all are my base. I'm back." I gathered all these niggas up to go vote. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Basically, is what he said, what he did. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But he still can't beat Trump. He ain't beating him.
No.
Even though he's saying Trump did this and Trump did that, and Trump didn't do this and Trump didn't do that. He ran as that was his campaign slogan, Trump is a bad guy.
Well,
And he still ain't just winning. You know what I mean?
right. It don't add up. You struggling to defeat someone that has this such a horrible track record. I mean, but the funny part about it was a lot of people was thinking that it was going to be a landslide.
Right.
They didn't think it was going to be this close.
Right.
So that's speaking to this country, the heart of this country.
Right.
You know,
I see a lot of people who you would never think in 100 years voting or supporting Trump. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Supporting Trump.
supporting it. Now, Brother Mark, we're going to go back and just bear with me for another 3 to 5 minutes as we catch this live update
And people seem
on
to be very
NBC.
involved, and people are still sort of funneling themselves into this voting place at Lambeau Field tonight on their way home from work. Allison.
Kevin, let's talk a little bit more about turnout there. The mayor of Green Bay is saying the polls could be less congested because of the record number of absentee ballots. But I do see people lined up behind you. What's the case at your polling site? What has it been like there today, tonight?
Well, essentially, this place has never been used before for polling, for voting, and the reason it is being used is because of COVID. Unfortunately for Wisconsinites, their state at this point in time is a COVID hotspot. They set another all-time record today, as a matter of fact, for new cases of COVID and lost more than 50 lives. That is one of the reasons why it was chosen, it was decided to use this tailgate facility, which is indoors, because obviously Green Bay is famous for its winter weather. So this is indoors, large parking facilities. People can come here from wherever. A number of precincts are voting here.
Now, Brother Mark,
Mm-hmm.
he stated that Wisconsin is a hot spot. They lost over 50 lives. Now, if Biden doesn't stomp Trump in Wisconsin, what is that saying?
That is the big question, bro.
Yeah.
That's the big question. You know, if the pandemic can't take him out, and I'm not saying Trump is a big bad guy, and I'm not saying he's just a great, powerful almighty and nothing like that. I'm just saying, man. You know, we have to look at what's going on with this Biden guy.
Yeah.
And these Democrats. What the hell is going on? You know?
Yeah.
And the left, the liberals. What the hell?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Shout out
They
to
scream.
Shout out to Brother Eugene. What's going on? He just hit me saying he's tuning in to the show.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you, bro. But yeah, that's ridiculous. I can't put my finger on it. Folks are dying. Biden is saying, "Look, man, you dying due to Trump. Wake up!" But this dog whistle that Trump has, maybe it boils down to race. Maybe they're saying, "Hey, look, you know, maybe they feel like if Biden get in, then Obama and Michelle will actually be running the White House. Then you got Kamala as the vice president. Then you have Clyburn in the White House, and then he's bringing all the black folks with him. Maybe they saying, hey, I don't care about the COVID. If Trump can stop all that, we rolling with Trump. I don't know. Meaning, what are people actual voter interest? What's in their best interest within this country? Does race trumps your health in the COVID-19?
Well, it's a referendum on Clyburn, too. Because we all know Clyburn came out and did the minstrel show and put everybody on Biden for the DNC.
Right.
Their choice, not the people's choice.
Yeah. Well,
It's the DNC's choice that we even talking about Biden.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But South Carolina is voting for Trump. His damn state. Clyburn state, you know, is voting for Trump, is going for Trump. So it's a game.
It's a game, man. Well, yeah, and the game was to get Bernie out the way.
The game was to get Bernie out the way for the DNC.
Right, for
I don't
DNC.
know. You know, I don't know if that's the overall game going on here, but
Right. Well,
the DNC thought they had a plate with Biden.
right. But see, Bernie would have told Trump up.
And Trump know that.
Yeah, Trump know that. He didn't want Bernie.
No, he never did. He didn't want him in 2016.
Right. He didn't want Bernie. Right.
He did.
Wow.
When they put Bernie out, Bernie was like, "Look, y'all tripping. I need to at least debate this dude. Will you debate me, Trump?" Trump was like, "Man, I'm in. I can't fool. I can't. You know.
Right.
I'm the nominee over here, man. I'm not finna fool with you."
Right.
Because Bernie had the movement. Trump had the movement.
Right.
What the hell is Biden in the game for?
Right. Trump.
I can't tell whether the Democrats like to lose or whether they don't want to win. They hate to win. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't. It's crazy because Trump was like, I just use the Democrats to get Bernie out the way, and then once Joe get in there, Trump figured it would be easy selling, even though with his track record and being impeached and whatnot, he still felt like he had a good chance against Biden. So what does that say about Biden?
It says something crazy about Biden because Trump is not supposed to be beating Biden like that. Trump only has a guaranteed 30% of the population as his base. Where in the hell is he getting the other 20-25% at to be stepping all over Biden in these states like this? That is the question. Right. We already know Trump got the Trumpsters. We know that, but how is he winning in these states like this?
So that means you and I, we got to wake up black people, and if you want to include black people under the term of minority, we will, just for the sake of this show. But of course, we know, that minority includes the hair down to everybody. But now we have to educate the people on the game, right? On the political game. And reason being is because so many of our people pour their hearts out into the system. You even heard Puffy say, vote or die. You hear people saying, well, your ancestors died to give you the right to vote, right? Okay, so now we have to shape the political system with morals to give us something to worth voting for. Because if you don't get involved, really deeply get involved, on every level, local level, state level, federal level, get involved. That way some of your ideology is intertwined within this system so you can have stake in the game and you don't have to stand on the hope and the prayer that maybe they might do right. Right.
Yes.
And you stated it a while back, Brother Marcus, on how one benefit for having Trump as the president of the United States is it made so many people start studying and looking into the political agenda and uncovering what is and what should be.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I was going to say that he took away the benefit of denying our identity when it's time for us to accept our own and be ourselves. He pushed you over there where you belong, and he said, this is who I am. I'm over here where I belong with my people. To live with it, deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And we so silly, we want to run after the liberals because the liberals say we all this and we all that, and even though roses still grow red and daisies grow yellow, they ain't fighting and arguing about let's be orange.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be attached to them and they got to be attached to us in order for us to feel like we exist, and that is not the will of God.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this political construct, if the politics and the government isn't serving our best interest, then there's no need in it, because that's what it's there for. It's supposed to be there for that.
Right. Now, how would you answer this journalist, right? Female journalist, she was Caucasian. She said that America is not white as it once was. She said that in 2016, the Republican Party was trying to reach out to different races to strengthen the party. She said, but then Trump came along and separated that to where they were no longer seeking other minorities to help strengthen the party, since America is not as white as it once was.
Well, the Obama administration ain't do nothing, man. I don't know what the hell she talking about. She aging. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Obama administration ain't do nothing. We didn't hear from Obama in the last 4 years. Why this? Obama is your hero, yet Trump out here clowning you, but you never heard from him until now when it's time for you to go vote. You need to think about that again. The whole time Obama was in office, he made excuses. Trump makes no excuses for his failures. He go and cuss out judges for his followers, for his constituents. You know? And if I can't build a whole wall, I'm going to put up some kind of wall that we can be proud of. He makes no excuses. Obama made excuses and served homosexuals and white people. And he killed dictators or presidents, actually. And that was it, you know, shot some basketball. I mean, took some nice pictures, you know what I'm saying? Made us proud. He ain't getting no trouble. There was no infidelity going on and all that, so, you know, hand clap for that. But what do we get out of it? We still red line. Our districts are still cut in the favor of the Caucasian race. And, you know, the hood gets no money spent in the hood to redevelop the hood. Our schools closing down, and if they still up, they trash. Poor education. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We might as well still be segregated.
Yeah. Like they say, the projects looks the same as the projects as it did in the 70s. Nothing changed.
So what we got, representation, it's not even representation. So what we got, people who's supposed to represent us for, and we paying taxes, and we still getting shot down in the streets by police. We pay for their uniforms, their squad cars, their guns, the badges they got on their chest. We pay for all that for them to do what?
That's right.
Just slaughter us and go home.
That's right.
If they get caught and scooped up, then they get a GoFundMe, you know, become millionaires behind bars. Maybe they get out and get to spend a little bit.
Wow.
You know, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is this what Obama left? To me, I was always saying, man, you know, brother's a nice brother and everything, man, but he didn't serve us, bro. He left the door open for this Trump thing. If Obama would have did what he was supposed to do, then it probably wouldn't be a Trump thing.
Yep.
Because things would be in place to prevent all of this true racial activity going on. When he was in office, it was like it's post-racial, and that was a damn lie.
Well, yeah, he wasn't proactive. You know, a lot of times, and we have to become more proactive as a people. You know, a lot of times when we get hit in the face with racism, I don't care if you're at a coffee shop, a movie theater, or wherever you're at, you process it, and sometimes you quiet, and then when you get home, you reflect on it, and then you say, you know what, I should have did this, and you know what, the next time that happened, I'm going to be ready. When you got to already be ready. And it seems like Obama tried to play, like you said, tried to play the nice guy. He got caught in the thinking that they were going to treat him fairly or see him as an equal. Then after he got out of office, he started realizing how they dogged him out. And towards the end, he got mad about it and was ready to fight back, but hell, it was down there too late.
I just don't think he was interested enough, brother. I don't give him that much credit. I'm sorry, man. I'll be the devil's advocate on this one, bro. But Obama didn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If he did, he would have wrote something. Present a proposal and get it on record that you tried.
Right.
He didn't do that. And then when you come out with a plan, everybody want to jump and dog him because the Democrats say he's a bad guy.
Right.
See, everybody telling us who we are.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, you got the status quo with us. You got the preacher then who the preacher points out who you should like. And if the preacher don't say you're supposed to like them, then you don't like them.
Right.
Yeah. When I was through with most of these preachers with that TSU back in 1995, when Mr. Farrakhan came to Houston to speak on the Million Man March, and I saw preachers protesting him. And I'm like, well, damn, y'all haven't put up a program to match what he's doing. What the hell? Y'all out here hurting the black community than you are helping.
They have nothing good to do. But, they just entertainers, bro. At the end of the day, they just entertainers. Sunday morning entertainers. They got the band set up. They got the stage set up. They're going to come out in a nice outfit.
Gonna drop in out the sky on the helicopter, huh?
Some of them got it where they can come through in a helicopter. That's real flash for you,
They fly, man. They super fly.
They super fly, I see a couple of very well-known, prominent mega church preachers on video dancing on dollar bills on the stage.
Yeah.
Put that money down. Put that money. Hey, where that money at? Where that money at? Spread money out on the stage, dancing on the money.
Right.
Nobody say nothing to them.
Right.
But when you come out with a practical plan that's going to take your tax dollars and return it back to you, that it would serve you, and then now you can say you got a government, you're attacking.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense, Brother Mark.
You call him a sellout. But your preacher is the sellout.
Right. Yeah, it's a new day, man. New day. Folks, we got to wake up. New reality. The old way is going to get us wiped out of here. Believe me. Because you can't justify your existence in a modern time with a slave mentality or even carrying on any remnants of slavery on you. Because the time is over. It's done. Turn the stove off and take the bread out the oven. It's over with. You're going to burn it up. So we get into some more live coverage. Brother Mark, just real quick, give you all a quick update on what's taking place live during this 2020 presidential election.
That's the reason why this is being used. Having said that, you're absolutely right. There are record numbers here in Green Bay as well. 55% of the people who voted last time, the numbers voting last time have already voted with mail-in and absentee balloting. So a lot of people decided to do it by mail. But as you can see, people consider this to be very important, and they're coming out here tonight to make their mark.
Kevin, I think the biggest shock in Wisconsin tonight is that you said it's 60 degrees there in November. I can't believe it. That's amazing. Send that weather east. I think we're getting it this weekend, and we will take it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Allison.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to.
So, Wisconsin. The reason why Wisconsin is a play, they said if Trump win Wisconsin, he got a road to 270. And so Wisconsin is the place. So I don't know. A lot of people are just, sitting here.
Yeah. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
There's always, this place is the place and that place is the place. Every time I turn on the television, it's always a place. This place, it might be a different place, That's just the way this is. It's just the way this game goes with these votes. You got your boy on the board doing the percentages, and it's a juggling competition. If you lose in one place, then the other place becomes the place that you need to get.
Right.
And if you lose it, and so on and so forth. It's a live activity. It's not a set thing to where you can say Miami. If you win Miami, you got to roll. You in there. Because if you lose 2 or 3 other different places, then Miami may become less relevant.
Right. Exactly.
So we just got to watch and see what happens.
That's right. Yeah. We can't jump the gun, as you state, Brother Morrow.
Yeah. The interesting thing is Trump is in the game. After acting like an ass for the last 4 years, he in the game.
Right, and shouldn't
That's
be.
the interesting thing to me, man. I don't know, man.
That's right. You right. But look, what we getting ready to do? We're gonna take out the music break, Brother Morrow.
Yes, sir.
What we playing?
Amnesia.
Myself, Marcus Mudd, and Cisco. We're gonna pump it up for this 2020 election.
Don't stop, y'all ready? Go black, yeah. Marcus Mudd. 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning, police at my door. Dope hits on the block, begging for more. No justice, no peace, I done heard it before. Black man got killed in front of the store. Run tell the judge to see what he do. Probably in the background laughing at you. And everybody plays the fool. I woke up in a daze, strange place, didn't recognize my own face, didn't recognize the language you speak. Lord, what happened to me? Seems like lately I can't sleep, land, look different. People done change and they calling me by a strange name. Is this a game? I don't see no change, but my memory seems like it done left my brain. Who's to blame? Maybe amnesia. Brother, have you seen her? Cause I really do need her. Time out, I need a breather. 501 medicinal. I suffer amnesia, slavery disorder with a touch of white Jesus. 6 in the morning, police at my door. Dope hits on the block, begging for more. No justice, no peace, I done heard it before. Black man got killed in front of the store. Run tell the judge to see what he do. Probably in the background laughing at you. And everybody plays the fool.
We go, toe-to-go, we go, toe-to-toe. We got my fake friends, I got real foes. Hey, with my kin folks to be that one soul together, getting gold. Who knows? And I'm a real gorilla, 5-star killer, G-code killer, push down pillars, thriller in Manila. Get up in the ring, I gotta get me some wings. Seeing kings and queens, bing, bing, bing. We dropping haymakers, serving soup bones on them player takers and them sellouts. Can't get chest in, ain't no bailouts. I'm on that breast end, too fly there.
Everybody plays the fool. Hey, Cisco through the door, coming through the city. Hey, with the H-time flow, but you know I got the dro. You got the blow, I got the hoe. Let's go to the show. Let's make one. Thump in the crib. Hold up, got her licking on these nuts like she got on a beard. Hold up, hey, we coming through H-time, Texas, sipping purple. That's what we do. And you paint. Hey, we swing right to right. Hold up, bring it to the left. I'm out of sight. Hold up, jet setting across the stage. And we stacking this paper, Kodak, hey, is the one holding down H-time with the gun, got the 4-5. Pistol gripping on the track, got them hollow points, hold up, don't turn your back. 6 in the morning, police at my door, dope hits on my block, begging for more. Just this no peace, I done heard it before. Black man got killed in front of the store. Run 10 from jail to see what he do. Probably in the background laughing at you. And everybody plays the fool.
Yeah, y'all heard it first. Right here on Verbal Pick Radio, just some election music. Keep y'all, entertained right here on Verbal Pick Radio. Yeah. But that amnesia, and I want to say this, the break down the hook of the song, 6 a.m, right between when it's night out, but right before the sun comes up, that's when they come in and try to deceive you or do the dirt right. Dope heads on the block begging for more. That's just those who follow the temptation of the flesh. They want more and more and more because they live by the flesh. So they put that as a God besides God. And no justice, no peace. I done heard it before because we've been saying no justice, no peace for I don't know how long, bro. We've been, since slavery time, no justice, no peace, and still got no justice, no peace. And black man got killed in front of the store. Eric Gardner talking about he's selling loose cigarettes. They kill him right in front of the store. And one happened in Louisiana the same way, And they run tell the judge to see what he do. We've been going to taking our plea to this justice system, hoping we get somebody locked up or charged with murder, like in the Breonna Taylor case. They charge everything else but the cops in the murder of him, He probably in the background laughing at you because he said, man, they still thinking I'm on their side. You know what I mean? But like the song say, everybody plays the fool, But everybody, okay, we might be playing the fool today, but guess who's going to be playing the fool tomorrow? And that's how the game go, man. So
that's right.
That's the gist of the song. But back to the election, right? But more, I'm gonna get on this election, man, because it is time. We're gonna run a quick NBC update in just a minute. That was hitting you all with more of the amnesia, which we just released that, but we want to continue on this topic because it's very important, what's taking place. So we'll get you that in just a minute. But yeah, though, brother Mark, it's a new day. I hope we learn a lot from this current race 2020 today. I hope so, because I hope we learn what's behind it. Now this is people standing out in DC. There's a lot of people gathering. Is what they're showing. People are gathering up. Now this is MSNBC. This is live.
Here we go. We will be getting some results, actually, we think this hour from Kentucky, from Indiana. All the polls not closed there, but some will this hour. But before that, let's take a look at what we can expect from tonight. So we'll fire up our Road to 270, our battleground map. Now, there are a couple ways to look at this. First of all, let's start with this. Are there any states tonight where President Trump is going to be on offense? What I mean by that is, are there any states that Donald Trump did not carry in 2016 that were Clinton states that he could pick off tonight and add to what he won in 2016? The Trump campaign has been talking about, remember these three tonight, New Hampshire, Minnesota, and Nevada.
Now they got
2016, the Trump campaign has been
Biden at 212 electorals and Trump 125.
The polling we've seen before the election has not put President Trump in great position in those states. So the burden is on him tonight as these votes come in to show that he can make something happen that hasn't happened there in the polls. If he fails to pick off a New Hampshire, a Minnesota, or Nevada, then Biden's starting point tonight is where Hillary Clinton finished in 2016, 232 electoral votes. And then the question shifts, and it becomes, where is Joe Biden on offense? And the answer to that we already know. You are looking at the battleground here. You are looking at states that Donald Trump won in 2016, that he's trying to defend, and that the polls coming into today, to varying degrees, show him in trouble in. Can Donald Trump hang on to at least 270 electoral votes worth of these states? The most immediate problems on this map for Donald Trump, we've been saying this for a while: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, 3 states that he won by the skin of his teeth in 2016. Less than 1 point his margin in each one of these states. If Donald Trump does not add any states from the Hillary Clinton column in 2016, if he doesn't pick off any tonight, and he loses these 3 states, he loses the election. And he's in particularly tough shape, according to the polls, in Wisconsin and Michigan. If he were to lose just those 2, he would be on the cusp of defeat. Trump would. That sets up the drama that we're going to see in the first few hours tonight, because this is the interesting thing about the pandemic election. As important as Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania are to this election, it's going to take a while to get the results there because of the mail-in ballot situation. In Pennsylvania, if it's very close, it could even potentially take a couple days. What we think we are going to get a good look at, though, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight, just about all of Florida except the Panhandle, we're going to start seeing a lot of votes out of Florida. We're going to get a really good look in the first couple hours in Florida about who is winning, who is losing there. North Carolina in the early hours, we should get a lot from. Ohio, Georgia potentially, even Texas a little bit later, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. We might get a good look at Texas. Every single one of these states, a big electoral college battleground, was won by Donald Trump in 2016 and really becomes, given what we just outlined here, the challenge he faces in the Great Lakes states, a must-win state for the president. If he does not pull off a Hail Mary pass and win Wisconsin, win Michigan, or flip any of those Hillary Clinton states, then he's got to go 5 for 5 in these states. He doesn't need one, he doesn't need some, he needs every single one of them. And then we get out west, you'd probably include Arizona in that category as well. So
bro, Mark, according to what they're predicting, Biden won.
well, they say you got a good chance.
Yeah, they say
you got a good chance.
Yeah, but that tells you that, the people are saying, hey, let's fix this COVID. Let's get this COVID thing straightened out.
Mm-hmm.
And Biden made a promise that he would get rid of the virus.
Oh, man. Nah, man. I guess people vote their fears, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And at the end of the day, folks, COVID scared people about being sick more than it scared people about losing their money.
Yeah.
Or either, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Or the people who are making money, they need healthy workers. And then you're talking about the Electoral College. So maybe he lost some of those people because, hey, if I'm a slave master, I need my slaves healthy. And if you're going to just ignore the fact that there's a pandemic going on, I'm going to have to go work for my damn self after a while.
Yeah.
I can't roll with you.
Yeah. The strangest thing is the fact that it was actually a race. It's still not over, and it was closer than most people suspected that it would be.
Right.
And it shouldn't have been, but it's just a litmus test on the pulse of this country.
So I think it's safe to say that if it wasn't for the COVID-19 pandemic, Trump would have went on stomp Biden or whoever was going to be the Democratic nominee.
Well, yeah, because Biden didn't really have anything to run on but the COVID.
Right.
COVID gave him a platform. You take the platform away, he didn't run on economy. He didn't, he didn't run on crime. He did say he would get tough on the protesters who was, he felt with causing civil unrest, and how he said he wouldn't stand for that or put up with that. But overall, this basically was just COVID.
COVID-19.
COVID-19 was it.
Trump is a bad guy, wasn't enough.
Yeah, and plus because Trump had his supporters and then some.
Yeah,
but
see that was I don't know. Any use of going back talking about what some would call spilled milk, but Bernie had a whole bunch of Trump's followers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did.
Bernie had a whole bunch of Trump's followers. A lot of Trump's followers were Bernie followers.
Yeah.
They had nowhere to go but to Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then Trump fumbled. See, the one thing that killed Trump was that those Woodward tapes he did when he admitted he knew about it, but he felt like he was going to quiet. He didn't want to panic the people, but the people took it as, man, like I have critical thinking skills.
He took a hit.
Yeah, I'm an adult. You put it on the table and let me decide for myself. That's freedom. You don't decide what news you're going to give me, what news you're not going to give me.
Yeah, he took a hit on that one.
Took a hit because
that was straight idiotic. I don't know what his problem was doing that one.
See, because as a journalist, I have to be careful not to take sides. Just put the facts out and let the people decide.
Right.
Right. And Trump made a mistake. He tried to decide for the people on pertinent information pertaining their health and their wealth, and you can't do that. Who are you to decide for me what I need to hear?
Right.
You know.
Well, money was his interest. He didn't want to see the stock market crash and all this other stuff. So if you panic, quote unquote, panic the people, then it's going to harm my workers, my money. So let people go on about their business to hope it go away. A lot of times he's just really talking his mind.
Right.
If you really listen to him, he said it.
Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, but it's going to go away. Don't worry about it. That's what he wanted to happen.
Right.
But it didn't.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. First, people got to realize America couldn't survive as a socialist country. It'll be so much civil unrest trying to move America into a socialist country that it would destroy from within, because you got too many hundreds of years under capitalism, and the die is already set, and the motion is already moving. You can't. It's too late to stop and turn around and create another type system. Unless it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, we can't do that, but the reality is we already partially a socialistic society because all of the welfare is out there.
Right, but the goal.
Now, when you go and say everybody should have free health care, then people throw that socialist. They start talking about how socialistic it is,
Right.
But as long as you don't say that, everything is the way it is.
Right.
If you manage to make it out of that bag of people who depend on the government, which is what socialism is, and become an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, then you reaping the benefits of capitalism. But how many of us do that?
Right. Facts. That's totally a fact.
I think most of us are looking forward to retiring on a 401. What the hell is that? A 401k?
Right.
Yeah.
You're saving playing a 401k.
Yeah. That's socialism.
Right. But the pursuit of happiness in America is folks want to hit them a luxury cruise liner. They want to travel and be pampered and sit by the white sands and blue oceans. They want the car, they want the helicopters, the planes. That's capitalism. That's that's the goal. That's the dream. That's living a life.
Right. That's the results of capitalism.
Right.
If you become successful in it. But most of us just want a good job.
Right.
And we don't get to see the boats and the yachts and all that kind of stuff. We prop up people to be able to do that. But we never see it. We beg for raises. And we want the minimum wage. What's the minimum? Come on. Think about what the minimum wage is.
Right.
In the richest country in the world, we ain't got no money. But as soon as COVID hit, they come out with money out the ass.
Right.
Just to keep you going to work. That's socialism.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at it, yeah. So
they don't teach us how to be capitalistic. Is really what I'm trying to say.
Right.
You don't learn it in high school or in college.
You
learn how to be a better employee.
Right. Well, you're not supposed. See, they're not gonna teach that in high school and college because they want to limit the competition. We as black people are supposed to learn capitalism in your place of religious worship, to where we gather, where majority of black people are gathered on the Sunday. We're supposed to teach all the things that the slave master refused to teach his slaves. Once we got in the quiet of our own community amongst ourselves, then we were supposed to start catching up.
If we had a responsible religious establishment,
because
we're supposed to be learning that there at home and the school.
At school,
but we learn it nowhere.
See, that's why what they call Spanish or Hispanics or Mexicans or whatever. See, that's what they did when Rome, when they was conquering over here in the America, Spain and Rome, they bring Catholicism over here. They was still practicing Santeria, but they was practicing it behind the saint's name, and still was keeping their tradition going. Mm-hmm. Like we were supposed to do. Yeah, we in this church, y'all giving us this Bible, but when you come around, yeah, we gon' to turn the other cheek, and but when you gone, we gonna continue on our ancestor worship and just use this Christianity as a front. But some kind of way they convinced some of our people to bite in, hook, line, and sinker, bro.
Oh, a little benefit here, a little benefit there. Like you said in the other show, put the old master's coat on his back, shine him up a little bit, tell him a couple of words, turn the other cheek, just to be a slave. You know what I'm saying? Jesus said so. And so there it is, preacher, pastor. We have to follow that. You got to follow him. Yeah. Because the master said so. Yeah. And he got the authority when master ain't there.
Right. And when you brought up whether you was black with your Native American traditions and rituals, that preacher told you, don't you come around here with that. Or whether you was brought over here from Africa with Yoruba, Igbo or whatnot, he caught you. His job was, don't you come around here with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was his job, man, to make sure you didn't pass that on to the next generation. So that way we were solely dependent upon the slave master.
That's it. And he managed to turn us against one another. Yeah. Exploit our differences, really, Lynch. Exploit our differences so that when he's not even present, his mind is working in our mind against each other and against us.
Because if I put my fist in the air and say, God with black power, then the preacher got to come behind me and say, God loves everybody.
Yeah, he permitted to pick the whip up and whip you. He had us whipping each other. He make you the cracker.
Yeah.
The word cracker. The word cracker come from cracking that whip. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he the white guy leaves and go into town and get drunk and have a party with the other slave masters is in the district and leave the pastor in charge. The pastor got the right to whip you.
Right.
Clyburn is the majority whip.
Yeah, there you go.
Democratic Party.
Come on, brother Moore.
He whipped everybody's ass in shape to go for Biden. He could have whipped people up into shape to go for somebody that's more progressive or somebody that got a real actual plan that's going to see us being really represented, get these laws off our back for a minute, get some of our money back, talk about some reparations, real, amends for going through the shit that we go through. But he whipped us over into Biden's camp, man.
Right.
And what does Biden do for 47 years? I don't have to say it.
Yeah, we already know. Played the game. He kept towing his people's party line, best interest. Not ours.
He's a KKK sympathizer to begin with. Then, the best thing he did for them was to come up with the crime bill, 94 crime bill.
That's right.
He didn't come up with programs for us to be relieved from the addiction of crack and for the addiction of selling crack. He came up with the lock their ass up.
Yeah, and give them some hard time.
Hard time, 3 strikes and you out. Don't do that for the people over there snorting that powder now. Don't worry about them. That, we're gonna snap this powder, but you go cook that shit up and make it hard and sell it to each other. We just gonna go on like because these people we finna privatize these prisons anyway.
Right.
Well,
we finna bring in on the latest update.
The real problem, I think, early on is labeling Joe Biden as a socialist. And the fact that the Biden campaign was very slow to respond to that, also didn't canvass. Because of COVID, they were not canvassing. The Trump campaign has been canvassing in Florida for 3 years. The Biden campaign only came in recently. That's why they sent Barack Obama in twice in just the last week. And in fact, it may not be enough to overcome that advantage. And also the policies that Chuck was referring to, policies on Cuba and Venezuela, coming out of the State Department, they have been just pouring the stuff out to attract those Latin American people who are tied to their home countries.
And the socialism label, you're saying, kind of stuck to Joe Biden harder there with that particular community of voters.
And he's going to have to overcome that for the rest of Florida.
Chuck, is this a good point?
There as well.
Is this a good point to take a look at where the vote we're looking at is coming from? Because we were warned going into this that numbers may not appear. The image may be different than what is actually happening.
For instance, in Florida, we're seeing everything is going to get thrown in, and I've got Duval up now, which is Jacksonville. That's up here in the northeast corner. And this is, look, Duval is a swing county. It's been a swing county that has tilted R almost most of the time. And lately, Andrew Gillum carried it. And you're seeing here, this is a little bit of a gap. 4 points is a bit. There's not. What's amazing here, I'm just struck by the turnout. Look, turnout was almost identical, if you will, from 12 to 16. The Romney number, the Trump number out of Duval is coming here. But, I mean, look at now. We're sitting already. Trump has more vote than any Republican's ever gotten in Duval, and he may lose it. And Biden's got a whopping 250,000. But one of the things that I've noticed that could help out Joe Biden if he's struggling in Miami-Dade is that just very carefully, you can see he's improving on Clinton's margins by 1 or 2 points in important counties along here. I'm going down the West Coast here because this is some Republicans, a lot of college-educated Republicans down here, snowbirds. And I'm just going to throw these counties. Watch the Clinton number, watch the Biden percentage, just so you can see here. He's just slightly improving on her by 2 points almost across the board. That's a 3.5-point gain there in Charlotte County. And this is here, Lee County. This is Fort Myers, as you can see.
This NBC live coverage.
This is how Joe Biden can overcome that poor turnout, if you will, for him in Miami-Dade. If he's shaving 2 or 3 points in every other county, then suddenly you're in a situation where that's how you, again, it's my point. Nobody wins Florida the same way twice.
But I think that makes your point. You never put that puzzle together the same way twice. We'll get to your mom's house in the next break, but we're going to take a little moment here. A look ahead to the night's biggest wave of poll closings. It's coming up, including Florida and Pennsylvania, just moments away. Stay with us right here on Election.
So, yeah, Brother Mark, they saying that now Biden is struggling to beat Trump in Miami, in Florida.
I just saw that Biden is taking Dade County.
He taking Dade County?
That's what it just said on television. I mean, we listen to MSNBC, right?
No, I was on NBC.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just watching MSNBC. See, I mean, it's just, hey, it's
I never thought in a million years, with all the rhetoric, all the responses, all the drink Clorox and everything that Trump done, he would be a contender to win again for a second term.
Yeah.
And the thing is the mind blowing thing is how do black people, how do we handle this? What is this saying about this country? You know, they call Trump, now every majority of black folks say Trump is a racist. Even white folks say Trump is a racist. So you saying that in America and predominantly amongst the Caucasian race, they don't give a damn about racism is not their focal point. I guess racism is more of black people's focal point. I guess if you white and you have white privilege, you don't want to give up that white privilege. So you're not going to ride with, majority of black folks who saying, hey, come ride with us and let's get rid of racism. I guess their interest is look here, we ain't really racism, black people, that's really your problem, even though you might have some few white sympathizers. We more worried about the economy and capitalism.
All right.
Your feelings and your emotions and what you suffering, we not going through it, so we can't empathize with you.
That's right. and that shouldn't be surprising, but that's what's happening. That's what's going down. And to go a little bit further, black man is just being totally ignored once again.
Yeah, we non-existent, bro.
You understand?
Yeah.
Nobody come talk to us about how we feel about this, that, and the other, and what we gonna vote on, and now you feeling it.
Yeah.
No black men for the most part are not concerned. They don't care anything about a Biden campaign, man.
Nah, it's like you said, we damn, bro, we there for the entertainment, man.
That's right. And now, if anything, Trump, the way he appeases strong men all over the world, that tell you something about his campaign. That tell you something about how he may not be trying to attract the black man, but the black man is inherently attracted to strength.
Right.
As Trump is. And the liberals dog Trump for talking to the dictators, but there's no war going on right now with none of those people.
Well, isn't
that something?
That's right, because the black man is a natural warrior, and people say, why y'all be criticizing certain entertainers and whatnot? It's just when a warrior see a man put on a dress,
that's where I was going.
It's like, hey man, come on. Or you see the warrior see the man, start singing Amazing Grace, and it coming from a position of passiveness. It's like
black man walk out the church.
Yeah, that man like, what, Brian, come on. It's time out for all of that, because when you take upon that warrior spirit, right? Then once the warrior wakes up, the first thing he does is he looks around, and then he starts planning his defense, right? And he looks around and says, hey, whoa, we got to clean this up, put things in order. And then we move on to the next phase. See, and warrior minds know that. And so, that's why they always in their media, when they want a down and out, sad, hard written story to put on your emotional strings, they head right to the hood and show some sadness and keep reiterating that narrative. They masters at that, but we gotta realize they use it as a symbolic tool or a symbolic weapon in this war that we currently in. So,
and so, Biden is something that the black man is not interested in seeing happen all over again, because naturally, some of us might want to get along and don't want to piss off the black woman because they got the black woman caught up in all of this feminism. But naturally, the black man is not attracted to anything Biden coming with.
Mm-hmm.
More homosexuality, more same-sex marriage, our women going off with each other. We ain't got as many women to choose from no more. Natural selection, pride. Trump, you know, you might not like the way he address you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he exudes strength, and we are naturally attracted to that. I'm not saying I voted and want you to vote for Trump. The voting is over with. So I'm just speaking my mind now anyway.
Right, it's
over.
It's
too late for you to vote for whoever now.
Yeah.
I'm say what I want to say now.
That's right, it's over, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But the black man, it don't want to see no more Biden and that Mr. Softy shit.
Right.
It's time out for that.
Yeah, we had too much of that.
It's getting us nowhere, you know. And the liberals want to see us in dresses, like you say, carrying purses, wearing high heels, and switching.
That's right.
That's the way they stay in power. Is by lifting the black woman and smashing the black man.
Right.
So if we're going to lift the black man and put him in the big seat, the first thing he got to do is allow same-sex marriage.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Let's get the basketball players to walk down to the court holding purses.
Right.
This was 8 years of this shit now. Don't nobody want to see that no more.
Right. That's right.
So that's why Biden is having a runoff.
That's right. Well, it's getting interesting, Brother Mark. It's not over with. You know, they coming up with the latest updates. Let's check in real quick and see what they saying.
Across centuries.
Well, in a minute. It's coming in just a second. They went to a commercial. As soon as the commercial is over, we'll bring you back live, up-to-date coverage. But yeah, I am noticing, depending on what station you on listening to, they got different reports and different results.
Right.
Yep, and that happened with I think with Al Gore and Bush. One station had called it for Gore, and another one was like with Bush, and that's how that whole thing started coming up. In a sense, you know. So we don't know. We do not know, but it's interesting, you know, just this whole process. But it's good to see, though, so many of our people, or especially after Obama, though, getting more involved in the political process and studying and see what's going on and having discussions about it, you know, more so than in previous years.
Right.
And, you know, and hopefully as time marches forward, you know, you'll start seeing more of our faces in these political places.
And we learn how to harness it for our benefit.
Right, that's the key.
You know, yeah, because we got a few out there already, but they just playing the game.
Right.
They just with the status quo.
Yeah. That's a fact. You know, they always say at the end of their term, and black folks say, well, you know, you didn't do this and that. They say, well, y'all didn't ask me to do anything the whole time I was in there. Well, we thought that if we voted you in, you was gonna have our best interest at heart, and we shouldn't have to tell you. But that's the game.
Yeah, but it really don't work like that. And that's on the people's. That's the fault of the people, because the people just feel like they can cast a vote and everything will automatically work out in their favor. And it don't work like that. Them people get up there and get around all those perks, get around all their money, get around those special interests and the lobbyists, and they're gone.
Right.
You thought you had a representative, but when he come back home from Washington, he's a totally different person.
Right. Well,
why? Because you didn't keep up with him and make sure he did what he's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Democracy is supposed to be an activity. Democracy ain't no sit back, automatic, or functioning program.
Now, it's an activity. So we going back live. This is NBC.
We noted still early about what Chuck was talking about with the rest of the team just before the break. Those numbers specifically in Miami-Dade County. And there are those inside the president's orbit who are really crediting the work being done with specifically Latino voters. This is an area that the president has been talking about publicly for weeks now. It's a place at his campaign. In almost every discussion that I've had with campaign advisors, we'll talk about how they are trying to boost turnout specifically among Latino and Latina voters because of Florida here, for example. There's this ad that has come out now in the past couple of weeks that the president and his team continue to refer to. They think it's resonating inside the Latino community. And then there's what Andrea was referencing too, the idea that the attacks on Joe Biden as potentially a socialist in the eyes of the Trump campaign as they're going after the former vice president has been effective. This is a message that for all of the perhaps lack of message discipline that President Trump himself may have had over the last 10 months or so, the campaign itself has been very focused on that particular attack line. We saw it at the convention here at the White House not 2 months ago, and we've seen it on the campaign trail consistently at the president's rallies. Lester?
All right, Hallie Jackson, thanks.
All right, let's go to Chuck. You're still looking at Florida.
I
Volusia
did.
County, that's a big one.
Well, I did the West Coast, so I thought I'd do some of the Atlantic Coast here. Volusia is Daytona. And look, Volusia used to be, if you remembered Florida back in 2000, Volusia was a blue county at one time. It's been a swing county shifting red. And again, another evidence, Joe Biden, 2 points better.
Hold on,
Clinton
bro.
again,
We're going to come back to that, but I just got to ask you something. Because they was talking about the Latino vote, right?
Yeah.
And one of the Latinx or Hispanics, Latin American, stated that they asked him why so many of the Latin community voting for Trump. And he said that is because they don't want to be reminded of where they came from. And we as black people always say, well, if the black and brown come together, we can run the show.
Yeah, I don't really understand that.
Yeah, but they don't.
Who's going to remind him of where they came from?
I guess they see what they're saying is they associate the Democratic Party with poverty or reaching down welfare, trying to give somebody a hand up, and so they want to associate with Trump, and they mind saying we in America we made it, we capitalism, we don't associate with poverty, welfare.
Now, I understand that. I heard that. I heard that, But, I mean, how is the Democratic platform reminding them of where they came from? I don't understand that part of it.
Right, I don't understand that either because you got some rich Democrats. Hell, Biden rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's their ideology. Nobody can. And the way, and they was like, man, damn, Trump had you in cages, had your children in cages. Some of your children are still missing out there. He call you rapists and murderers. And anytime he can find a way to send you back to Mexico, he's doing that. But yet you still vote for him. That's one of those anomalies nobody could put their finger on.
Well, we do have to remember that the Jesuits went out there and did what they did to them mentally, made them docile in order to take over the Aztecs and make South America what it is now, a crippled piece of real estate, you know what I'm saying, with still the Europeans running it, just like it's running the Caribbean and running over here. So we can't expect them to be too much different from the Negroes that's over here in America.
Right. Yeah, okay, well that makes sense. I guess that's why
that's Negro thinking.
Right.
I just want to be a part of what you're not a part of.
That's right.
As long as you coming over here practicing your susu, you can become a part of and do like the Chinese and everybody else. But if you come over here trying to fit into the system will swallow you up.
Right, right. And the Caucasian don't want Hispanics because at one time Hispanics on their driver's license they was checking white and was trying to claim white, but the white Americans asked them, "Y'all stop doing it." Try to tell me you're not white. I get some of them there dye their hair blonde and try to fight their Hispanic accent, but instead fail to realize black folks know white people and white folks know white people. You getting rid of your culture when you try and deny yourself and be something you're not, and everybody looking at you like, man, we see you, we know who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's identity crisis.
Right.
First thing slave master got to do is rip you of your identity if he want to make you a permanent slave.
Yeah.
You can be a captive in chains and forced to do something under the gun. That's a slave. But if you want to make a permanent slave, he got to gut your mind out and give you a mind and say, this is who you are. Give you a new name, give you a religion, Jesuits, give you everything.
Come on.
Give you a compass of thinking, of thought that benefits him, that says he's supreme, he's, God. You see that Jesus, that white Jesus, look at him. The Catholic statues and shit like that. Go to Walmart and go down the aisle where the candles are.
Where?
And look at them damn candles, that our brothers and sisters like to buy.
What?
And look at, you see the white angels stomping on the black devils and all.
All that, Go.
They just as much as victims as the Negroes over here in America, bro.
Yeah,
so,
they same big.
In a way, we can't be surprised.
Look, old black Brazil got a big old white statue of white Jesus on a mountain looking over on there.
Yeah, watching over his slaves.
Oh man, I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. It is crazy, dude. This is the effects and the after effects and the residue of slavery.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just flipping through some of these channels, and this Yahoo News, and they just showing a video footage of the ballot of the workers waiting on the ballots to arrive in Ohio so they can count them. I mean, this is like every little thing counts on this thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they sweeping up the crumbs on this one, brother.
Yeah. We finna go back to another
the Cuban Americans.
Live
and
coverage.
It seems like that is coming to pass in Miami-Dade.
Savannah, that's absolutely true. And there were Democrats who were trying to sound the alarm on this. And remember, this socialism-related message, it's something that President Trump has literally been pushing for almost the entirety of his administration. I've sat through State of the Union addresses where he uses this term. I mean, this is something that he really...
See, Brother Mark, and like in Miami, when you use the term socialism, it scares them because they thinking it's going to return to like Venezuela and Cuba, and so when you say those to them, they in their subconscious mind that fear kicks in, and socialism. Wait a minute, hell no, I ain't going back.
That was the other thing right there. What you just said, bro. That is the other thing. That's right.
And it's they fright. They say they do not because they came from there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey man, we not going back.
But goddamn, Trump got dictator ambitions, autocratic ambitions.
Yeah, he aristocrat.
So what the hell? You one lesser two evils. Which one you want? Pick your devil.
Yeah. Now someone called Trump a. Let me see if I can get these words straight. They called Trump a meaning a person who never intertwined into the American system that was a foreigner. From his grandfather that got here, they kept the old German ways, European ways. Then his father, now Trump, he never amalgamated into the American mindset.
I don't know, bro. For what I understand, the actual name is not even Trump.
Right, Trump.
Trump, something. You know what I'm saying? So for them to change their name, that tell you something.
Right, yeah.
You know, they assimilated in some kind of way.
Now, I was just... Hold on, let me put this right back on real quick, bro. Hold on.
Like me, I know you hang on every word that Chuck Todd says. And were you watching when he started looking at some of those red counties in Florida where Biden seems to be overperforming Hillary Clinton? We know that obviously Trump has done well enough in Miami-Dade. Do you see any warning signals in those red counties in Florida that may portend in other states around the country?
We'll see. I mean, it seems clear one of the storylines of the night will be this shifting within the Republican coalition we saw in 2016, where Trump was shedding support in more traditional Republican affluent suburbs and then picking up support in working class areas, some of which were more traditionally Democrat. So it seems like he's going to lose more of the affluent suburbs. Can he make it up with more of his, turning out even more of his voters this time around? But Florida, if he pulls Florida out, and Claire's right, this is necessary for Trump. It's not for Biden. Trump has to have this. You can come up with theoretical scenarios where he wins without Florida, but it's very likely not going to happen. But it'll be a story of an incredibly robust state operation in Florida that focused on the Latino vote like a laser beam, and with the idea that they could actually win over Latinos, especially Latino men, and make a difference in a really close election. And it seems as though that theory might be proving out tonight down there.
Yeah, they had an aggressive turnout.
Wow, Brother Mark. Now,
yeah.
What if Trump get in riding the wave of the Latino male?
Ain't that something? And he came in talking about they rapists and murderers. And at the end of 4 years, they put him back in office. How about that?
Wow, dude. I mean, this is wild, bro. And the Trump supporters still don't like him. The Trump base still wouldn't like still would not discriminate against the Latin male. Latin males, Hispanics, always was complaining about how they were being treated under police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
But yet and still, it's, that's one thing we would never figure it out. Maybe like you said, they suffer a self-identity crisis because a lot of them have changed their names. I even knew a lot of some friends of mine that was Hispanic who didn't want to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Was ashamed of it. And I was like, man, dude, a shame. Hell, you know what I give to know my native tongue before they forced English on me? I can speak two languages, my native tongue, and even though Spanish is not your native tongue, but still you know a different language.
Yeah.
You speak
multilingual, bilingual.
Yeah, you bilingual. We know that you were conquered by the Spanish and they gave you all of this and the names and the whole nine. Just like we were conquered by the Europeans, we got the same similar story.
Uh-huh.
But the difference is, for the most part, we proud of who we are. I guess, some of it.
Sounds to me like there's a little bit of willful amnesia on their part.
Yeah.
To have some of their culture preserved and still want to throw that piece away.
So, well, look, I tell you what we'll do on Verbal Pig Radio. Black folk, if Trump wins, I dedicate time on this show for a therapist, a type of counseling, so people won't go mad over this defeat of Biden if Trump becomes the next president, because people emotions and hopes and thoughts was riding, and it's not over though. And then if Biden get in, how do you feel the other side to Trump base gonna handle it? Will they be dogging Biden trail the whole time he in office?
Absolutely, bro. You know that.
They're gonna be on him.
Oh man, they gonna ride this boy. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
He might as well get ready for it if he become the president. they gonna ride this boy, man, because look how they did Obama.
Yeah.
Every time you turn around and look on social media, it was a monkey. It was Obama with a monkey face, and
Yeah, and that pissed me off. I spoke out against that. And they even had his children. They even had Michelle Obama. That monkey face. And I just did not understand why his supporters and his Christian brothers didn't tear their ass up for that shit. But that's for a later date. It didn't happen. Okay, we move on.
That's their docile teaching.
That piece for real. Oh man, look here. You know, we because we not your court justice and we not your fools. You know, time out for that shit. But okay.
Now you see why they can't get black men to vote for him right here in 2020 and put him over the finish line.
Look,
he ain't give a damn about the black vote, the black male vote.
Now, listen to this, man. Listen to this,
the criticism about their Florida strategy.
Trump,
will
they
either
talking
amp
about.
up or down,
Well, let me
depending
read
on
the
how well
update, and then we'll go to it.
And up the coast.
Trump is expected to win Tennessee. 74%, and Biden got 24%.
Kristen Welker.
How can Trump get 74% of the vote in Tennessee after the Breonna Taylor case in Kentucky?
Damn.
Well, in Kentucky, brother. Well, that's in Kentucky, but still, and in things that took place around the world or close to it, as far as Tennessee, how can Trump beat him 74 to 24% in America in today's time? When he say make America, are we in the 2020 or are we in the 1800s?
Man. Yeah, I mean, he wear the wig. You know how they wore the wig back. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? This dude tells so many lies.
Yeah.
His tongue is twisted in a knot, man. He can't tell no truth.
Right.
But they ready to vote for him.
And most of these people are farmers. These people who begging for farm aid, man. Who suffering. Who tornadoes and hurricanes and droughts just devastated the farm business. But that's another fault of Biden. He didn't come out and say what he was going to do for the farmers. He didn't put the numbers on the table. He didn't come out and say, farmers, I know y'all suffering. I got a plan to bring you all back. The farmer's still going on Trump's 2016 farm campaign, what he said he was going to do for farmers. You got to put something on the table, man.
He ain't put nothing on the table. Only thing he said was Trump is a bad guy.
Trump is a bad guy, and I'm going to defeat COVID.
And they saying Trump need Florida to stay in the game, and I'm looking at Trump 3 points over Biden in Florida. So, yeah, Democrats ain't out of the woods. Yeah, man, they just didn't give a damn about the black male vote. They just didn't give a damn about the black male. They give a damn about the black male. Look how they handle Q. I ain't going to go back on Q no more.
Right.
But look how they handle Q. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we get with you after the election.
Yeah, that's an example of what you're finna get after the election.
Right, well, we should have told we'll hold our vote till after the election.
Yeah, man, they have it, Trump talk to the man, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And some blacks probably did say, well, you know what, then I deal with whoever win after the election did. Then we put our agenda up for it and see who gonna deal with it and start working. Matter of fact, really, if black people were smart, our election starts tomorrow after the election, and we hound them for 4 years with our plan agenda, and then after 3.5 years, then we'll say, okay, you get our vote.
Yeah, McConnell is taking Kentucky again.
McConnell getting Kentucky?
Moscow Mitch.
Nah.
Taking Kentucky over 10 points in Kentucky. He might as well everybody just start celebrating.
No.
Yeah. No black male voters. God damn it.
Wow, man.
The hell with the black male in his vote. You know, all we need is a black woman. Okay.
I'm sorry, my black Christian brothers, not the ones that's already rolling with the Minister Farrakhan. All black Christians, after this, whether Biden win or lose, go ride with Minister Farrakhan and get down with the agenda. Because what you all have is not working. I'm sorry. It's not working. It's not working. It's not benefiting black people. We're not buying land with it. We're not educating our people with it. All we getting is a church, a rich pastor, and white Jesus. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lost cause trying to talk to them pastors, man. We should be we should be trying to encourage the flock to find something better, man.
We suffer from slavery disorder with a touch of white Jesus.
And that pastor ain't gonna change until the flock change. The flock start punishing the pastor change.
Well, you know what? We said that on the show. The flock needs to put forth the agenda on what they want the pastor to preach on.
That's right.
And the flock should take a vote, and this is what we want you to talk about on this sermon next Sunday. And because we believe this is going to strengthen the community we live in, because most pastors don't live in the same community that they pastor in. So they say, look, this is what the community needs you to address when we come here on Sundays, because we believe that will strengthen our community. We need you to talk about local farmers markets of the growers that's in the community to get the congregation to come out and buy from them to support their own. We need you to talk about money market accounts, bank strategies, financial strategies. We need you to, you know what I mean?
That's right.
All that, because, but then again, I don't know. You know what though? Why can't they do that? Wait, whoa. Now I remember when, what was the mayor before Sylvester Turner? The white lady name? Damn, before Sylvester Turner. She was a noun. She was a gay woman. God, I get slipping my mind. I see her face. Can't recall her name. Anyway, when they was trying to pass that restroom bill where men can go in women's restroom and women can go in, men, whatever race, identity you try, whatever gender you identified yourself with. Then she wanted the pastors to submit their sermons.
Right.
They wanted to go over and look at it.
Yeah.
So I guess they can't talk about it because they'll be looking at what they said and how they record their sermons word for word. I'd be like, man, you can't come in my place of worship and ask for my damn sermon. What the hell I done said? That's the mere fact that you even felt like you can ask me for that.
Right. I mean, and I don't know if they did it or not, but that's an excellent point to bring up, bro. Because if the pastors can be made to give their sermons up to a politician, then the pastors should be more accountable to the flock.
Right.
Or it's flock just don't need to, the flock keeping the lights on, flock keeping pastor fat, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Flock need to get somebody that's going to represent them and give them what they need. Because there we go again. We being taxed without being represented.
Uh-huh. Right.
Taxation without representation.
Right. Correct. Well, that's exactly what it is, Mark. We not getting no representation. Purposely.
For our 1.3 trillion. I mean, god damn, just 0.3 of a trillion.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Come on.
Not 1 billion, not 2 billion, not 200 billion.
1.3 trillion.
Not 700 billion.
Yeah. We carrying
1.3 trillion.
Yeah. Come on.
What do we get for it, man?
Nothing. But more, we got latest update.
Yes, sir.
Trump, I think, got Virginia. West Virginia won. Biden, I think Biden got Ohio in some states.
We have to check and see how much of percentage that the votes are in.
Right, yeah. They just running updates, but you're right. They not. The whole counties, all the counties not in yet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and wow. I mean, this thing is crazy, bro.
And that's one thing that the media like to control the narrative. So they'll run out there and they get a percentage of something. Run out there, he got it. Yeah, but that can change when some other counties start coming in.
Right. Fact. Yeah. We don't really. They just speculating right now. We really don't know. They don't know. Well, it is what it is. We'll see. Well, bro, Mark, we've been on it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And we'll get back with you all, listening audience, once we determine or once they decide who's the winner. As people getting involved. I'm glad to see the youth getting involved and studying what's going on, because you all gonna have to contend with this and deal with this in the future. So thank you all for listening, brother Mark. As always, man, thank you for being on the show, brother.
Thank you for having me on, brother.
Yes, sir. Vote Pick Radio. You've been listening to a live coverage of the 2020 presidential election, and stay tuned. We'll have more for you right here on Verbal Pick Radio, and we out.